There is drama and controversial in this YouTube street. Once again, the TRENTOWNGRANPA's shipment, which however at the end turned so controversial. Some people call it the controversial shipment itself. As it again turned so controversial. That is so hyperbolic in nature. You know, things are not well. And the reasons why things are not well is like the facade yet again has already been lifted. And now the truth that is coming out is what TRENTOWNGRANPA's desired and said. As at that time, there is what TRENTOWNGRANPA desired, that majority of people could gather at MARWA place so that the shipment itself could be distributed. But because it was marked with a lot of myriad kinds of drama and issue and so controversial itself, that's why I drew the name the controversial kind of shipment. You remember the it's Gintu, you remember the naysayers who even never had a stake on it, started to great stand and wanted to show the grandpas, the TRENTOWNGRANPA's, where to distribute, where not to distribute. Initially, people never wanted these things to be at MARWA's place. And the irony is, the TRENTOWNGRANPA is MARWA's friend who promised to be giving out these kinds of goodie at MARWA place. You know, these things came in courtesy of MARWA, and because of the desires of people's hearts who donated all these things courtesy of Grandpa, these things had to be distributed. But because of the drama that marked with it, that came with it along the way, the moment it reached, the naysayers, with the bad breath and the negativity that they spewed upon it, therefore everything stalled until MARWA came back. There is the truth that I want to tell you, because at one particular point, I was speaking one-on-one, so closely, candidly with TRENTOWNGRANPA. And there is a lot of things that he told me about the shipment. And this is the truth, which is as per desires. And going forward, I want to juxtapose it if it is really in tandem with what MARWA's bold move, that really starting outrage from the naysayers. Guys, if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, kindly click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube channel notify instantly. To my loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's dive in straight away. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Senior Zach and this is my YouTube channel. So guys, there is a lot that's surrounding the shipment itself and the bold move that MARWA has taken. The question people are asking themselves, why is the bold move suddenly? Another question is, what is TRENTOWNGRANPA is saying? And my question, what was the desires of TRENTOWNGRANPA before even the goods arrived? And the question that I'm also asking myself, after the sparked kind of drama and the controversial kind of statement within the Nyamuhanza itself, what was or what is currently the desires of the TRENTOWNGRANPA? And could his wish be thrown away or be implemented tandemly? These are the questions that we've asked ourselves, and we are going to answer them at the progression stages of this video. So if you want to get to know more, please keep tuned here, because more must be unraveled, and the truth itself it is. Perhaps we want also to check on the outrage of the community and the naysayers, because I'm going to play, because I selected one, I played one, I will paraphrase because there was nothing really to play from it. Perhaps let's listen to this
society,
video.
other people out there. But now, you will take a lot of shoes in there. You know, they're all for us. No community, nobody will get anything from here. It's all ours. Cecile, you thought you came in the village with a package to give the society, but I'm sorry, the censor has taken everything, and now he is distributing to the family. And anything now that any stuff that they will see this doesn't fit anyone in the family, now they can throw to a few villagers, a few crackhead villagers who don't see that as an insult. Because I really think if I was, or maybe any of my family members around
those
there,
things were meant for the community.
Kind
And yet MARWA is coming to take these things with the family members. No. Well, it's fine. they belong to the community. Okay, who is the community and who is not the community? The community of Nyabohanse. But who designs all this kind of community? When TRENTOWNGRANPA was coming with all this shipment, he had already figured who to get all these things. Who were the community and who is the community and who is not the community? So you want to tell me the community is at the exclusions of IAM-MARWA? The community is at the exclusions of people who are helping IAM-MARWA. I know things that was brought belong to the community. The community that was staying around IAM-MARWA, the community that all along have been helping IAM-MARWA, and an extension of the vulnerable community that IAM-MARWA has ever shown them on the camera. Another question that we want to ask, as IAM-MARWA move, escape the community that was well envisioned by the TRENTOWNGRANPA or by everybody? No, it is still within the community that was envisioned. Because if you're talking about Mama Ann, it belongs to that community. If you're talking about IAM-MARWA, it belongs to the community. If you're talking of the Gitiriba and people surrounding IAM-MARWA, it belongs to the community. If you're talking of the people that IAM-MARWA have been showing on through its YouTube channel and street, these are the community of the Nyabohanse. So which community do the naysayers referring to? Which community? I want to ask you. So a community is a community at the exclusions of the IAM-MARWA and the people surrounding IAM-MARWA. Because what made people and TRENTOWNGRANPA to ship these things to Africa, mainly to basically, especially to Nyabohanse, is because the people who were surrounded IAM-MARWA needed an uplift and a support. And even if you could check the people who have been given GoPro, these are mainly people who are around IAM-MARWA. Those are the community. You could be having a community around you and a community of a societal existence. Still, these people are within. If you did mathematics, the quantitative techniques, there is a specific call of fundamentals math that we call the set theory. We have set within a set, universal set or a subset or a complement set. So the community within a community is like a subset to each other or a complement set for those who have a better understanding of fundamental mathematics. You know? So that is it. So community cannot exist minus IAM-MARWA. They cannot exist minus people who are not helping IAM-MARWA. So IAM-MARWA's statement and move of, we are going to check the shipment that was brought by the TRENTOWNGRANPA, that in there are good clothes that were meant for them. They have to separate theirs first before they go and distribute it. What is wrong with that kind of statement? Basically, there's nothing wrong. Perhaps let's check into what
Mr. Cecil. And yesterday I talked to Mr. Cecil. He told me I should do whatever I want with those clothes. So before we give them out to people who will stand back and abuse us, we'll first check what we can take, then we'll give out those clothes. Yeah, because guys, we have one of you from the US who brought a lot of clothes, shoes, and some of the clothes are very expensive. Even one, he told me specific, was over $1,000. So instead of us buying too much, actually even we may get jackets over there. Yeah. But because I have not officially opened the bags, I'm gonna buy, you see already it's raining, I'm gonna buy something for my workers because they support me and I support them in one way or the other. Yes.
Answer to JT, because at one point also JT was saying that IAM-MARWA never called and never get instruction from TRENTOWNGRANPA of who to be given a gift. Now that IAM-MARWA has decided to take all these things with the family, which is so wrong. And I have to demystify that kind of false allegation that not. Because I've played you the clip. IAM-MARWA called the TRENTOWNGRANPA and asked Grandpa, what is the way forward? The answer was, you can do with it what you want. Which means it's now at the discretion of IAM-MARWA whether you decide to take them to orphanage, whether you decide to give the people of the community, whether the good belongs to you. But what was the goal move? The goal move was, IAM-MARWA is going to give the community, however disrespectful or ungrateful the community is. But when you talk of the community is not at the exclusion of IAM-MARWA. The community is inclusive of the IAM-MARWAs as well. So what is important, they will take. What is remain, we call them the remnant, the community will gather. At one point, then they shall be distributed going forward. For those who want to come, you turn up, you be given. You know, there's a narrative the naysayers want to plant around that IAM-MARWA exists in a vacuum. That people around IAM-MARWA must never receive any help from anyone. Yet, with them, they're receiving such kind of help. They've formed a narrative that the community existent surrounds along Gintu. That Gintu is the community plus other people, while IAM-MARWA is not the community. That is a narrative that they are peddling in this YouTube street that must be demystified, and which means I demystified with the strongest term possible. There's no sin. Another question that I wanted to ask you now, that must also be answered. What was the desires of the town grandpa, of the Trenchtown grandpa before? The desire was, I bring all these shipmen, the communities and the valuable be collected in a part, either in IAM-MARWA place or in a special ground. Therefore, these things must be distributed. But the desire changed. Not the desire. The process changed. What do you think changed the process itself? It changed because there was a backlash. It changed because the people who were being given the goods and the gift, the vulnerable who were being given good and gift, even told Trenchtown grandpa that they do not need. I remember A.M. Carroll telling Trenchtown grandpa that Africans are not dump sites for second-hand clothes. I remember A.M. Carroll telling and the lazy gang that go and carry your shipment and take back to Jamaica. That was the statement. And that's why the whole scenario, even the desires of helping the vulnerable, stopped. IAM-MARWA never stopped anything. The statement of the lazy gang and the statement of the people who were being helped, which now they were using, it's going to, in their own machinations, really halted the process. And this is what even it's paining the Trenchtown grandpa up to now, because he said, he remember people who were being helped. He came, repair even a road for the whole community. Then there's people who exist in that same community saying that the land has been grabbed. Bringing in the shipment that costs a lot of money to be shipped to Africa. Then the people has got the audacity of telling them, you know, we don't want such things. Who told you want clothes? These are the things that Trenchtown grandpa was told by the A.M. Carroll, the likes of Trending, the JT podcast. Name them. They called them the second-hand clothes. They were never the second-hand clothes. These were the new clothes. The Trenchtown grandpa told me, because most of that time we used to talk. And we talk even up to now. That was the desires. It was changed. And at the moment, what happened? The Trenchtown grandpa wanted to take all the shipment to Tanzania so that it be distributed to Tanzania. Or another country of the which maybe some country like Burundi. That was his own idea. But when they talked with the IAM-MARWA, when they agreed, IAM-MARWA told him, no, don't do that, because people are already expecting. There would be a scenario that will be created along that stories. So the best thing is, keep them back at home until I come back. We will figure it out when and how to distribute them. IAM-MARWA came, then what really happened? It is what IAM-MARWA have decided after consultation with Trenchtown grandpa and told him, all your wish, you can distribute it the way you want. It's now under your custody. But before, it was supposed to be lifted to another different country. After it has halted and it failed in Kenya under backlash itself. Because it looked like the Nyabohanzi and the Kenyans were not welcoming at all. At the expense of the money that these people used to ferry and buy those kind of expensive shipment. But I remember they were even describing that those shipments are not, these things are cheap. Now, what is the uproar? What is the uproar? If the community rejected them, what's the uproar? If the IAM-MARWAs made the bold move, what is the uproar? What is the problem? That's why I'm telling you, it's the irony and it's the shipment. Therefore, that one answers our question. It's IAM-MARWA in tandem with the wishes of the Trenchtown Grandpa. Yes, absolutely, in tandemly so. Because IAM-MARWA, you can do whatever you want with the goods, which means you can distribute, considering with all the quadrilateral points of human being. He can decide to do it. And I remember Trenchtown Grandpa even saying, within those shipments, there are specific goods for specific people. There are what belongs to the IAM-MARWAs. There are what belongs to other people that directly was prescribed their names unto. That is what IAM-MARWA is going to do after opening. They look what belongs to them. They take, after taking the rest, they shall distribute to the community. That was a simple statement that even will never make anybody struggle to understand. And that's why, for example, for those who don't understand, if you cannot decelt it and fathom most of it, therefore I'm here. That's why I make it so simple, so it can easily decelt. Don't you understand? There is also another myth that I want to discredit over here. The myth is one. People are saying those who are not Trenchtown's gift, that people and the friends gave him for free. Okay, let's say, okay, people gave him. So what? So those people reached in Kenya courtesy of Trenchtown Grandpa. Therefore, those people, those things are Trenchtown Grandpa goods. It doesn't matter where he found them. There is what we call the social capital. The social capital is also a currency. So when Trenchtown Grandpa has built on that social capital, therefore that is his currency socially. Therefore everything squarely belongs to Trenchtown Grandpa. Because those people who gave him, we don't know them. They were invisible. Is that our own thought? Therefore the person whom we are seeing on the ground is Trenchtown Grandpa. Now, it was delivered. I said, now IAM-MARWA is the one distributing them. And how did those things decided to reach in Kenya? The shipment itself reached in Kenya because there is somebody who made them free. There is somebody who influenced them. This is the IAM-MARWA. So when IAM-MARWA will be distributing them squarely, IAM-MARWA will receive all the glory and the glamour. Because courtesy of him, courtesy of his YouTube street, he has got friends. IAM-MARWA still using that social capital as a currency to build the community. Therefore, you cannot detonate this kind of goods to somebody else. If JT of all the people, if on trending of all the people want to say those things were not yours, my friend, the ownership has changed. They belonged to IAM-MARWA and Trenchtown Grandpa. It's through their courtesy things have reached down the ground. Just like any other government. The roads that the government build, where do the government got money? Every government has got money. The money comes from the people, the taxes that you pay. A simple analogy. So when the government does it, because the basis of the government existence is the people and your taxes. So the basis of such kind of goods reaching to Kenya is through Trenchtown Grandpa and most importantly, IAM-MARWA, because IAM-MARWA influence. So it's like a chain. It's like a baboon trade that's almost going round. But people don't understand all these things. Simple analogy. So whether IAM-MARWA will distribute it equally to the orphanage, to the people around him, some partly to the family member, we have got no problem really, because the family member also belongs to the community. IAM-MARWA has got the family member who also lacks. If such things of good are distributed to them, and the larger part are given to people, what is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? There's no problem. Always help yourself first. If you cannot improve your life first, at the expense of improving other people's life. Therefore, you have got no reason to exist. You have every tools at your hand. First of all, improve your life. The surplus that remains, give to the people. There's no problem to that, because these people you're giving it them for free. Nobody distributed a dime. Therefore, help yourself first. And all this kind of stupid analogy must therefore stop. So let me know your thought on the comment section. Until next time, this is Celia.